Absolutely.
So, for 2021, what do we think is going to happen this year?
We'll start quickly with AEW real quick. Man, honestly, I'm impressed with what they're doing. And I think it's going to be another great year for them. I would like to see them being able to be a little bit more closer to being as popular, but growing popularity, so people know that there's two companies out there instead of just one. I want to see more wrestlers get elevated, evolve a little more. I want to see Darby Allin more with the TNT title. I want to see more title opportunities with different guys and girls that haven't been able to get title chances. Man, I want to see Moxley back. We'll see him next week. We'll see what they're going to do with the Dark Order, man. I think the Dark Order ain't done yet. I think they could be a great, even better faction. I mean, better than when Brody Lee had, but just saying better as individually, and you can always get better anything.
Right.
So that's just goes without saying. But I'll see everybody get elevated, make a better brand. It's not just about one person or one group; it's about everybody. So I want to see more with Miro. I think they could do more with him. Do something more with Colt Cabana. Man, there's Cassidy, man, dude's rocking it. Best Friends are a great tag team too. There's a lot of great stuff out there, man. Let's hope they get elevated to get recognized more around a lot of viewers.
I think Cassidy will end up TNT champion.
Oh yeah, in time, absolutely.
Yeah, in time. Absolutely.
I can definitely see that happening for this year coming up. Definitely can see that happening. Why not? I like to see a little more from Dustin Rhodes. I always love seeing his in-ring action. I want to see something from Adam Page dominate some stuff out there, and also Kenny Omega see his world title ring going forward. Put himself more on the map, put the company more on the map too.
I can see MJF and
MJF, man, yeah, can't forget him.
I can see MJF and Hangman winning the AEW title this year too.
Yeah, if 2021 was not going to go for MJF for being a world champion, I would say 2022 would be the year. But,
right.
At least he keep on involving him. He's doing great, is what it is, and just keep on going down that road with him. But him having a title shot, AEW title shot, would be definitely would happen. I don't see a reason why not for 2021.
I think AEW is going to get a second show, and if they do, I think it should be an hour long.
Yeah, I'm kind of on a 50-50 deal. I just don't want them going too fast with the second show. If they do, obviously you have to take care of that show. But in technicality, we all know this. They do have a second show already, but it's not technically they do. It's not on a cable network. It's with AEW Dark, but I want to see if they're going to put something else on the cable network, TNT. Treat it, nurture it. You don't want to get too fast on a second show like WCW did, and
I think they can do it right if they use it to continue storylines.
That's exactly
because the Dark Order, for example, is a very deep faction.
Yeah.
So, let's say maybe on Wednesday, the Dark Order maybe has Stu and Uno wrestle a match with, let's use the Best Friends as an example. But then on the next show, it's Silver and Reynolds versus Private Party or something like that.
Yeah. I just don't want it to be a...
And you got Team Taz that has kind of a depth to it as well, where you might see Team Taz have Brian Cage on Dynamite, but on the second show, the other guy, Ricky Starks, has a match. with
Yeah.
Brian Cage in the corner or something like that. It can be done. It just has to be done right.
It has to be done right, and it has to be just as good,
And they just
almost
have to
as good
exchange
as
talent
Di-
to where it's not Dynamite isn't looked at as you are only going to see the main stars on Dynamite, like how Raw and SmackDown were. It's going to be like, okay, who's going to show up at Dynamite and who's going to show up at the second show?
I think you should use some of the same stars though too. I mean, you got to have star power.
Exactly.
You got that same star power. I mean, you do different things, but if you're not gonna make it just almost as good as the Dynamite, it's kind of like you're killing off your brand already. Because you don't want to be.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they should have each swapping stars, but maybe not have. What I mean by using separate people is like it won't make sense to have two shows if Lance Archer, Sting, Cody Rhodes, Darby Allin, all of them both all get TV time on both shows. You have to be able to use the depth of the chart.
Oh, absolutely.
And like you have Team Taz that has Will Hobbs, that has Ricky Starks, that has Brian Cage. You have the Dark Order that has Stu Grayson, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, Alex Angels 10, Alan Angels 10, John Silver, Anna Jay. You have the Rhodes family, which is Cody, Dustin, Brandy, QT Marshall, Arn Anderson. You have FTR. You have Private Party. You have Matt Hardy. You have Top Flight. You have the Hybrid 2. You have Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin. Like you have all these people that you can't fit into a 2-hour TV show.
It's tough. It's tough. I said I'm fine with them having a second show. It's got to be done right. But the thing I was going to say, I don't want to turn it into some second-rate WWE show, third-rate, I should say. With how they've done with other shows such as Heat when they years later, or Adrenaline. Nothing wrong with those shows, but I just don't want it looking like a second-rate or third-rate or whatever.
Right, and I think that's what Dark should honestly be. I think Dark should be kind of like the Heat, but maybe stars here and there.
I think it's where it kind of is. So they're not obviously on a cable network yet. I mean, Heat eventually wind up on WWE.com eventually. But it's as long as they do it right, I'm fine with it. Just don't go too fast because when WCW got hot, after maybe a couple years later, they started doing Thunder, and they're just Thunder was not. It was okay, but it was just not one of their premier shows. It just kind of thrown together. So,
which I'm hoping AEW can learn from the mistakes of both WWF and WCW.
As far as WWE goes, 2020, I just just want to see more McIntyre do his thing and see something more from KO. Sami Zayn, man, they gotta give him more time. Give more TV time, doing something more. He could be. I think honestly, he's the second best heel on SmackDown. By far.
What I think will happen is I think NXT is going to further itself as the third brand. Yeah,
and maybe they'll evolve that more as far as I don't want them looking as being just a training ground. I want them looking more as more of a threat to the main, what they call main roster. But I understand that they are the training grounds and to an extent, but because you got some serious talents in there that's not
right.
Not training. They're legit veterans that, but they also, those boys and girls also like being in their position there, and some of them don't want to move to Raw or SmackDown.
I personally would love to see Undisputed Era versus the Hurt Business.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I would like to see that too, honestly. I would, actually.
I think it would be good. I think if they do it, Bobby Lashley will look like a monster, but then you would have to have, Bobby Fish or Roderick Strong or even Adam Cole or any of those guys try to outmaneuver. And I personally, another wish list match would be Tommaso Ciampa versus someone like Jey Uso.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
and I still stand behind. I still stand behind that. I think the face turn for Roman Reigns will happen right around Survivor Series.
Very well could. I don't doubt it. I don't you go off and say I told you so.
Oh, I definitely will if it happens.
I'm not denying it, so you can't say that.
Well, it's more or less because I think that would be the natural progression. I think he'll remain heel, and I think when they're setting up the Survivor Series match where he's building his team of survivors for his people for it, it's going to show as a face turn. He's going to have someone turn on him. Maybe even Paul Heyman, where Brock Lesnar comes back and destroys Roman Reigns, and it's going to be Team Roman versus Team Brock.
Very well could be. Very well could be. Interesting.
But it's a guess.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, before we end it off, the show, this episode, for any of y'all that have not yet watched AEW Dynamite with the Brody Lee tribute show, I'm sure it's on YouTube now. Check it out, man. It's a great show. Obviously emotional. I am just like many out there where for most of the show, I didn't have a dry eye. It's a very special show. So if you have not watched that show yet, make sure you do watch that show. It's on YouTube by now, I'm sure. But
there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. And I'm sorry, you just made me think of something. We praised MJF's ability of being a heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what he tweeted out after that?
Huh.
Hey, fuck that kid.
Jeez. Wow.
So, there's mixed feelings about that, which is understood.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, there's a time and place to be in character. Others are like, I like the idea that I can't tell if he's serious or not.
I'm a little bit 50-50 with it. I'm more like 80-20 almost. No, it's just I understand he's trying to keep the heel character. I get that, but it's a little touch of a sensitivity there, man. You got I said I'm 20% where I understand it, but 80% says there's a time and place for that stuff, and that was kind of I'm not sitting here gonna belittle or trash MJF for it, but yeah, I don't think I would have done that. Maybe not now, or maybe I wouldn't have done it at all. It's one of those subject matters that is very touchy. That's all I can say about that. But
yeah, it's gonna be again. It's I don't have a opinion, I guess you'd say, on that matter, because I see both sides of it, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, as someone with my own kids, I have definitely am being sympathetic to that side of it, but at the same time, I can appreciate him trying to show like it's not a complete character. It's just, you know, who I am or whatever.
Yeah.
But absolutely watch the show. It's a really good card. Hats off to AEW and Tony Khan for the show that they put on.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. You have to watch that show. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it, man. And I would even tell it to a non-wrestling fan, even though they may not be interested in watching, but that's about as good of a show you can possibly get for anything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But, yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up here. This is more likely one of our longer episodes based on the timing that I'm looking at right now. But it's necessary. We wanted to recap 2020. We had a lot to talk about because, oh boy, we took a week break and holy shit, this shit happened.
I feel like it's been longer than a week. It was like it's been. But yeah,
it's one of those where like him and I talked and we agreed on taking a break because I have a family and, you know, the holiday season. And what happens the day after Christmas? Someone dies out of nowhere, and AEW has to put on this remarkable show, and it's like, what the hell?
Absolutely, a lot of things happen in this short period of time. I also want to say, y'all, I didn't discuss this with Cam or anything, but